Okay, so we're recording. All right, hi everybody. I decided to do a vlog. I actually have a new website which enables me to do videos and has really great graphics, so I thought I would take advantage of it. So I decided to do an interview with Melissa Kessler. Melissa is a lifestyle architect, and I absolutely love that. And I brought her on just because she's so inspiring. I've watched her journey throughout the past year or so that I've known her, and she's just awesome. So she has some really good things to share with us today. So Melissa, thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. So first I want to ask you to tell us your story. Tell us about the beginning of your journey and how you got started and all that good stuff.
Sure. Okay. My journey started a few years ago already. I have to say, it's a little bit crazy. I had my second son, and a few months after that, I read a book about health. And it was actually related to me because I am a type 1 diabetic, which most people don't realize. And this book, though, was by Dr. Furman, and it was called The End of Diabetes. And I read it, and it was like something hit me, and I was like, I better change my life. I better do something for myself. And right then, that was really the beginning of everything, where I literally read the book in a day. And by the end of that night, I was like, everything's going in the garbage. And that was it. I cleaned my pantry out. I cleaned everything out. And I was like, there's no processed food in this house ever again. Like, I'm done. So that was really the start of it. But I decided, I still was in corporate. I was an IT project manager for, I don't even know how many years, 13 years. So I was still working there. My job was it was toxic. The environment was horrible. I dreaded going every single day. Like, I would cry going in, cry coming home, because I felt like it was like constant work, especially in what I did. There was always emails coming through. There was always something. And I liked being a project manager, but the environment itself was just horrible. Like, everybody was like, looked down on you. Nobody respected what you knew, or let me take on what I wanted to do. Not only do I have a master's in wellness, but I have a master's in computer information systems. Awesome. So I knew my shit. And I knew what needed to be done there, and they wouldn't allow it. Like, everything I wanted to do, they were like, we need to look at it first. And it felt like I was in like grade school again. And I was like, yeah. So it was just like a place where I just wasn't getting anything out of it, So the whole time being there, I was like, couldn't wait to get out. But of course, I couldn't leave my job because I still have a family, and I still needed to be bringing money in, So luckily, one day I went in, and they told me that they couldn't afford my salary anymore. And they were like, that's it. It was a consulting position. But they were promising me, like, day in and day out, that they wanted to bring me on permanently. And next thing I know, I go in and they're like, we can't afford your salary. I was like, okay, great. But I left. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was crying, but in a way I was happy, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm out of this. Like, I'm finally free. At the time, I didn't have the guts to like just quit and say, I'm going to do my own thing. So it was kind of like it was put in my lap and said, like, it was my final answer to like, go do what you need to do, So that was it. I left, and I think like in the car ride, I called Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and I was like, I'm registering. I need to become a health coach. I've already been on this journey for, I guess it was like a year, maybe even 2, of eating right and whatever, but I knew there was more to it, and I knew I needed to do more with it. So that was it. So I registered for that. And then a few weeks later, registered for my master's in wellness.
Oh my God.
So I did it all at the same time with 2 kids.
Wow.
everything. Thank God, like my husband has supported me through everything. There's been hard times because, then I decided I was like that's it. I'm starting my own business. Like I need to, so not only was I doing those things, both schools, but I was also trying to start my business.
Right.
So you could say nobody saw me for quite some time. But at the same time, it was like the answer, because I was like, okay, I was still home with my kids. So even though I wasn't like going out and partying and whatever, but I was able to be here, with them and everything. So yeah, so that's pretty much like, that's how I got into what I'm doing. And I just graduated with my master's in August.
Awesome. Congrats.
So thank you.
It is.
It's been crazy.
It's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. I've been there. So this actually brings me into my next question, which is perfect. How do you do it? Like, how do you just throw away those excuses? Because I know, so many women out there are like, oh, I don't have time, or, I just, because this, that, and the other thing. Like, how do you just get rid of all that shit and just...
You know what? I have to say, it's all about mindset. It's mindset and the motivation, that I know what I'm getting out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And not only for myself, but for my family and like for everything around me. Going through my, these certifications and degrees. Originally, I thought it was all about food and that was it. Mm-hmm. And while going through all of this, there was so much more that I realized, and I was like, no, I've got to be happy. I've got to be doing shit for myself. Like, I can't keep living for everything else. So knowing that, like, these goals that I have, I'm huge in, like, manifesting and using my vision board, and there are a million things on it that I know I want to do. So knowing that I'm going to, knowing that I'm going for those things, I think is like the biggest question. Truthfully, I can't ever see myself in corporate again. So that's a huge motivator. Like knowing the difference of, being able to do what I want to do compared to being there and being micromanaged and not being able to do what you really love and, what you can put out. I can't imagine ever going back to it.
Yeah, that's a really good reason. Like those glass ceilings sometimes are just deal breakers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know, like throughout my journey, long ago, I always thought like I had to be perfect in my actions moving towards my goals. So, how have you kind of fought past that, and how have you progressed? Like, what has helped you to see past like having to be perfect in what social media and the media and everybody portrays to be like this perfect,
Yes. I have to say, I'm a perfectionist. So it's really hard. It has been very difficult to not be that like perfect coach and go by everybody's rules and, do what everybody says you're supposed to. I always wanted to be like, I have to do that. But the more and more, I guess the longer that it's been of having a business, that I realized that what works for everyone else doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much been my thing, that I'm like, no way. Like if they think that's perfect, I don't, and I don't agree with it. It's not working for me. So I'm not doing it. And I know that there are other people out there who like the way I do things. And that's kind of where I've been able to let go of that perfectionist, like doing what everybody else is doing, because I know there are those people that actually need me and need what I do, because we're not all the same. I'm huge on, like I say all the time, like I'll call you out on your shit. I am not somebody that's going to sit here and be like, oh, okay, I'll hold your hand and you do what you want. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for me. So the people that I help are those kinds of people who need that, need that extra push and aren't going to fight it and actually need somebody to tell them, no, this is what you need to do or you're not going to get anywhere,
Right, exactly.
So, yes.
Okay. So the final thing I wanted to ask you is if you could offer women one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece of advice would be to be yourself. So it kind of goes into what we were just saying. I say, like, my big thing is break all the rules. Follow your own rules. Just trying to be like everyone else. People notice it. People see it. And it's so hard for anybody to really be attracted to you when they realize you're just trying to be like the next person. That you need to have you need to show those differences so that people can actually know you and know what you're about. And trying to act like other people, it's freaking hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I went through it, and for so long, like, I would go to do a post and be like, oh, no way. Like, that doesn't sound right. I had to make it sound like the way she does. How would I say it? Like, it takes you so much time to even do that. Like, now that I am me and I don't care what anybody thinks, I say exactly what comes to my mind. Like, I don't have to be sitting here thinking, am I saying the right thing? Do I sound like that person? Do I, am I giving the exact same thing off? Like, so.
And I think too, like, to find true happiness within ourselves, like, it's not comparing to what everybody else is doing. Like you said, it's really finding what makes our heart happy and, what makes us at the end of the day go to bed and have a good night's sleep and not have to worry about, like, being perfect in a certain way that you perceive somebody else, etc. So, yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. There's just something about, like, being exactly who you want to be. It goes for everything. I sit here and I'm like, people think I'm crazy. We just moved to Florida from New Jersey, and we had a 6-bedroom house, a huge backyard. We had all of this, and we moved here to be in a townhouse that we rent, and we don't have to worry about anything. People come and fix the things if they need to be done. I have a pool outside, I have a basketball court. And I'm like, to me, this is life. Like, I don't need to be in a huge house.
Yep.
Where other people, that is what they want. That is what makes them happy, So it's like, there's no point in comparing. Like, you have to do what makes you happy.
Exactly. And I think so many of us struggle to really find out what that is. And you think, like, oh, I just want this because this person has it, and it seems like it makes them happy, so it might make me happy. But really, actually, like, doing the dirty work yourself and finding out what makes you happy. So I think that's too. All right. So do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh my goodness. I could probably add a million things, but I don't want to keep everybody on here forever. No, I think we covered that's my big thing is being you. I'm big on releasing your badass. I'm all about just being yourself and doing really what makes you happy.
Awesome. So how can we find you on social media?
I have a pretty kick-ass hangout on Facebook. It's called High Heels Meet Yoga Pants.
Awesome.
So that is my private group, but any women can join. As I call them, mother hustlers, because that is what we are. We are extremely busy, and we need to find simple ways to still, do things for ourselves and be happy and actually take care of ourselves. It doesn't have to be hard. So that's my big thing. So we talk a lot about that in there. And that's my main spot. I mean, I'm all over. I'm on Instagram. I'm at Melissa K Wellness for the most part, wherever you look.
Okay, awesome.
You can find me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. If anybody needs to get a hold of you, I'll actually put your stuff. I'll link it right in on the post.
Awesome.
Alrighty.